We're at about 8,300 feet on a northeast aspect, and what we're doing is some testing on our layer of greatest concern on the interface between the facets and that Thanksgiving Day crust. We've done a lot of testing in the past week. We haven't always been able to get this layer to fail on the extended column test, but it's failing consistently enough. And as you can see from this pit, you're looking at a pretty good slab and over 1.5 feet of snow that's going to fail if you're able to trigger that layer. So again, that's the sugary faceted snow that in certain places is anywhere from a couple inches to 6-8 inches thick. It's sitting on top of that Thanksgiving Day crust. So at this location right here, we've got close to 2 feet of snow sitting on top of that. And so it might be pretty difficult for one skier or a snowmobiler to trigger this layer with that much snow above it. Where you're gonna potentially get a failure on this layer though is gonna be in shallower areas around rocks and trees, and or maybe near a ridge line where the wind has scoured the snow away and now all of a sudden there isn't 2 feet of snow above it, it's something less than that. So if you're going out, just be thinking that this layer does exist down about 2 feet deep. Below that, again, the snowpack structure is pretty poor. It's just a bunch of crusts and facets, more sugar snow with some depth hoar at the very bottom. We also did a propagation saw test where you isolate a column vertically up the hill and you slide the saw on the layer of concern. And again, this whole layer slid off when we were only halfway up through the column, so a little over 1.5 feet. And so again, you're looking at some pretty dense snow that's going to fail. This past week, temperatures have warmed up. This created more of a slab in this upper part of the snowpack. There's a little bit of either rain crust or melt freeze crust on the surface, and at this spot it snowed just a little bit overnight.